All right, before we get into today's episode, we're going to start off with a question for the flock. I want you to get down in the comment section, name a free agent you want Baltimore to sign. I'm about to give you 4 names. Before I do, I want to hear from you guys. On today's show, we're going to look at the top free agents available after the NFL draft. Baltimore addressed a lot of needs. Not every need, but a good bit of them. So today's show, we're going to look back at the picks. Then we're going to look ahead at some free agents that might be there to fill in the last little bit of roster holes before the 2025 NFL season. You started off really, really strong in this draft. Malaki Starks to Mike Green. Emery Jones in the 3rd round. Thought that was a bit of a reach, but I'm still excited about the prospect of him. Then you went Teddy Buchanan, Carson Vincent, Bilal Kone, Tyler Loop, the kicker, spicy right there. LaJohntay Wester, the wide receiver out of Colorado. Then you ended it out with 3 great selections, in my opinion. Anais Peebles, Robert Longerbeam, and Garrett Dellinger were your final 3 selections. It was a good draft. I was really, really happy with Eric DeCosta, with John Harbaugh, what everybody in this organization was able to come out with it. However, there still are a little bit of holes to fill. I'm going to start in the linebacker room, okay? Let's talk about C.J. Mosley because he is still a free agent, and he is a guy that I think honestly has a decent shot for Baltimore to at least consider. While they're considering him, here's a few things for you to consider yourself. Zach Orr and Mosley played together on the Baltimore Ravens. So it would be a reunion of them two together and a reunion of Mosley coming back to Baltimore. He's probably not going to be that expensive, and that's A, because he's getting older, and B, because he only played 4 games last year in 2024 with a neck injury, which you could look at it as like, oh, why would you want him on this team? But also, if you don't really feel good about the depth and he's not going to cost you that much, why not make the swing, right? You did draft a guy named Teddy Buchanan, we've already talked about a little bit, in the 4th round, who I'm really excited to see him on this squad. He offers some interesting traits in coverage and on special team. He also showcased a lot of really great blitzing ability, even coming off the edge at sometimes. However, the run instincts are still lacking as of right now. And you also address linebacker with a couple of undrafted free agent signings. Jay Higgins out of Iowa, 124 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, a sack, and 2 forced fumbles in 2024. Over 260 tackles in his last 2 seasons. And one of my favorite guys, Chandler Martin out of Memphis, 111 tackles, 16 tackles for loss, 7 tackles, 1 forced fumble. This dude absolutely flies around the football field. He's aggressive, he's quick, he's agile, he's athletic. And I honestly think there's a decent chance he can make a run to get that last linebacker spot on this roster. I'm excited about Teddy's potential. I'm excited about Martin's potential. But at the same time, I would not mind one bit if this team got another veteran option, especially one that's been here before, knows what it's like to be a Baltimore Raven, right next to Roquan Smith. Okay? So C.J. Mosley could be that option. Let's talk wide receiver, alrighty? How about Keenan Allen? This past year, spent time with the Bears. Prior to that, spent the entirety of his career in Los Angeles with the Chargers. And I'm going to be honest, I still think Allen has some stuff left in the tank. I know a lot of people probably want to see his production in 2024 and say, this dude's cooked. He's burnt out. He's over the hill. He's too old. And I kind of disagree. 744 yards, I'll take that any day. 7 touchdowns, 70 receptions, especially playing in that offense with a rookie quarterback, a terrible offensive coordinator, and the worst offensive line in football almost, then he was still almost able to put up 800 and find pay dirt 8 times. I will never say no to another veteran option, especially in a wide receiver room that outside of DeAndre Hopkins has a lot of really young talent, okay? Really excited about this next year, Zay Flowers. Absolutely love Zay. I'm really excited about this next year for Rashad Bateman, okay? Also really pumped to see what DeAndre Hopkins is going to bring into the offense. But after that, the depth drops off quite a bit. Getting Keenan Allen in here could give you a little bit of injury insurance and also just gives Lamar another veteran option to go to if need be. What say you guys? Let me know in the comments section right now. Do the Ravens need another veteran wide receiver, or do you think they're already good enough with a guy like DeAndre Hopkins? Let me know your answer by giving me a yes or a no. Coming up, we got 2 more free agent targets to look at, okay? One on the defensive side, one on the offensive side. We'll reveal those in just a second. Before that, make sure you guys go to chatsports.com/Starks to get the Malaki Starks jersey, okay? Hot off the presses. That's not going to have that number 1. It's going to have the 24, his real number. If you're excited about his future in Baltimore, if you're excited about watching him on the field next to Kyle Hamilton this next season, I need you guys to go get that jersey. Prove it to me by going to chatsports.com/Starks. Right now, he's not even cracking the top 10 in rookie jersey sales, okay? We are better than that as Ravens fans. I can promise you that. To help our boy get in the top 10, help you get swagged out on your way to M&T Bank Stadium, go to chatsports.com/Starks. Of course, the link to this promo is in the comments and description of today's video. All right, let's talk about Za'Darius Smith. Another guy who would possibly be happy to have a reunion in Baltimore. This guy's not close to being done with his career, okay? 17 games played in 2024, started the season with the Browns, ended the season with the Lions, 9 sacks on the year, and 60 quarterback pressures. I am still really impressed with Za'Darius. What he was able to do with the Detroit Lions at his age on a defensive line that, yeah, they're really good, but also at the same time, like, after Aiden Hutchinson went down, I don't want to say he was the only premier edge rusher, but they didn't have a ton of talent behind him. And if you pair that with thinking about the Baltimore Ravens edge rusher group this next year, it's a good one, but it's got room to improve still. Kyle Van Noy, Odafe Oweh, Mike Green, those 3 guys you have all the confidence in the world about. But then after that, like Tavius Robinson showed you some good things. You couldn't really get a ton out of Adisa Isaac because he was injured. David Ajabo, I think now it's kind of time to maybe label him a bust. Malik Ham, not too excited about that name. It's a really crowded room. But outside of the top 3 guys, I don't know if there's a guy on that list that I'd feel confident about getting me a sack when it is crunch time. And Za'Darius Smith, although he's old, he's coming off a season with 9 sacks, 60 QB pressures. This team could use another guy on the roster just like that. Make the call for me. Let me know which of those edge rushers gets cut, because you're not going to carry all of them. All 7 of those guys are not making the roster. Who's not making it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let's end this one by going offense. How about a guard, Brandon Scherff, formerly with the Jacksonville Jaguars this past year. When you look at what he was able to do in 2024, it's pretty impressive, okay? Especially at his age, about 33 years old. He's a little bit older, but over 1,000 snaps, only 2 penalties. He had a 64 overall PFF grade. His pass block grade was really, really good at 74.5. Run block grade, not that great at 57.3. And I know you win Emery Jones in the 3rd round. A little bit of a reach in my opinion, but we already know how I feel. Still, really solid option. He has all the athleticism. He's got all the traits to possibly be something in the National Football League. A lot of people are really excited about that addition of Emery Jones. And then you went Dellinger in the 7th round with your final selection, another guard out of LSU. Now, he did struggle a little bit with injuries this past season, and both of those guys I still think can be good pros. But if we're looking at that position as a whole, more veteran depth is always good in the offensive line. It's always welcomed, it's always warranted, it's always wanted. Because you're 1 or 2 injuries away, knock on wood, from the entirety of your season changing. Especially when you look at how much of this offense is run, how much of this offense goes through running the football. And you need an aggressive offensive line, you need a strong offensive line, and you need a smart one, okay? And if you don't have the most confidence in Daniel Fa'alele or Andrew Voorhees, or if either of those guys, knock on wood again, get hurt, are you going to be able to have confidence in the rookies? That's going to be the big question. If that answer's no, maybe Brandon Scherff could be in there to help you feel a little bit better about the team. I'm going to show you all 4 of those free agent targets we just talked about again. And I want you guys to pick one to sign to this roster, okay? If it's CJ Mosley, type CJ. If it's Keenan Allen, KA, Za'Darius Smith, ZS, and Brandon Scherff, BS. Let me know in the comment section down below. Going to give a little bit of an honorable mention to Matthew Judon. I'm not as excited about the possible addition of him because he had a really bad year this last year with Atlanta. And I know you could look at it like Joey, they were the worst defensive line in all of football. And so every single offense kind of just had to say, let's key in on Matthew Judon. Let's not let Matthew Judon hurt us. That wouldn't be the same in Baltimore. There's a lot of talent better than him. But still, it's like at the end of the day, I think the better years of his career are past him. So I wouldn't be upset about the signing, but I don't know if I'd be like over the moon fired up about it. What I'd be over the moon fired up about is if you guys joined us right now by hitting that subscribe button. We give you daily content on the Baltimore Ravens. We're getting into the offseason. A ton of people are going to be taking time off. You're going to see a ton of people at the beach. A ton of people skipping videos. We don't do it. Okay, we got you covered all offseason long, May, June, July, beginning of August. We're going to be here. So make sure you are as well by hitting that sub button.